Basketball, a game of giants. When he had to, he knew all the tricks.
Nobody can pass that ball through the heart of the lane. 6. You want to put on a show here.
Y'all know the vibes. Purple and gold skies. Welcome back, y'all, to LAKERLAND. We in the building. Shout out to Lakers Nation. Big up to the NBA community. And, of course, most importantly, shout out to our Players' Choice family. We back. We got an unbelievable show. I'm Seven Mitchell. ZZ is in the building. ZZ, what's happening, gang?
Not much, man. What's going on? Glad to be back after missing
Your load management. After your load management.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just inspired. Every time I look at LeBron as seasons go on, I'm just
oh my God.
That's my guy. Like, that's what I want to do. I just want to get paid to be here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I know you were feeling yourself this afternoon from last night, so we're going to allow you to get your rocks off and talk about what happened last night here at LAKERLAND. Shout out to our brother Light Out. Light Out is on load management. He is in Cancun. Matter of fact, shout out to Light Out. He'll be back with us in a couple of weeks, but I'm very excited about this show. Episode 10 of LAKERLAND. Damn, ZZ, we done knocked out 10 of these joints, bro.
And that is wild. That is wild. But here we are. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep rocking all the way to 100. Then some.
That's a fact, bro. So, again, shout out to LAKERLAND, man. We about to get started with today's show. We're not going to waste any time. Before we go ahead and get started, I do want to mention and shout out some of our new members of the Players' Choice family. Big shout out to Agility for becoming a member of the Players' Choice family. Agility, welcome to LAKERLAND family, and thank you for becoming a member of the Players' Choice platform. I see LAKERLAND definitely in the building. Stensation's in the building. Salute to my dog, Stensation, always supporting LAKERLAND. Big up to you, Sten. As always, we got the homie Bit in the building. Bit, yo, Laker Nation, we in the building, bro. It's time to rock and roll. So, again, we got one of them action-packed shows for you guys. Of course, in the second hour, we got open court, so we're going to open the panel. We're going to let you guys in LAKERLAND come up and rock out with us for the second hour of the show. So you guys make sure you do not go nowhere. Sumo 85 is in the building. I see you, big homie. We definitely got to talk about your dog, D-Lo and Jackson Hayes. We got so much to chop it up about. But let's talk about last night, bro. Let's talk about last night. My Lakers, ZZ Warriors. It was the first game of the preseason. What was your takeaways, bro, from your squad last night?
From my squad, what were my takeaways? I'm interested. Way more interested in this dynamic between CP and Steph Curry. Last night, we got to see it in action for approximately 12 minutes. But in that time, when looking at the offense and looking at the Warrior system and how CP was going to adapt to all of that, looked pretty solid. When you're trying to analyze a player like a Chris Paul, especially at this late dinosaur age stage in his career, you got to think about a lot of things, right? You got to think about players like him in situations like him, where mobility takes a hit later on in your years, defense takes a hit, getting your legs up in pivotal stretches of a regular season also as well. As you saw last year, Chris Paul started to look like when he pulled a three, he was pulling a hammy at the same time. That's a problem. That's something that was a concern of mine. But looking at him and how he works in this system, you got to look at that pick and roll action that we got to see last night with guys like Kevon Looney. Now you insert Steph Curry into like a pick and pop situation, and Chris Paul is just a maestro with the ball. Still one of the most elite point guards that you could ask to be on your team in terms of orchestrating the flow of the game and all of that. He did pretty well. I also liked Klay Thompson. I was very, very skeptical last week when I saw that, or not even last week, like 4 days ago, when Steve Kerr said, "Yeah, we're looking at Klay Thompson guarding the 4
moving
spot."
it to the 4, right?
I'm like, what are we doing that for? What is the reason? But once again, Steve Kerr knew something that we didn't about Clay, and you could tell that he was putting in that work in the offseason to get that mobility right. Last night, there were stretches where he was defending Rui Hachimura, our guy. We talked about him running the 4 for the Lakers.
That's
He
right.
was defending, and Clay was doing his thing. He was locking that ass up. I mean, I can't. Clay deserves some flowers last night. He looked pretty mobile. I'm not just talking about from the offensive end. I'm talking about specifically on defense. That man looked like you couldn't tell that he had 2 of the worst injuries of all time. So you can tell he'd be putting in that work. Outside of that, Steph looked fine. Anthony Davis, I wanted to talk about. He looked aggressive last night. Very aggressive. He was
Both ends of the court from early. AD was
Yeah.
not playing yesterday. That's a fact.
He did not come to play no games, and I am here for it. He only played 12 minutes, but in that 12 minutes, he gave you 15 points. Let's see, 5 rebounds, 6 of 11 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. And I mean, they were open looks, but if he has it and he can knock it down, that's a plus for the Lakers.
Right.
What I loved the most about AD was just seeing him attack downhill. For somebody to be his size, I feel like he is one of those rare breeds where it's like, him, Giannis, maybe a little bit of Joel that can, take the ball downhill, move through 2 guys, go to the rim, see another body there, get him out the way, get the little lefty lay off the glass, something like that. Like he has so much offensive talent for somebody that damn huge. Pause, if you will. But Christian Wood, let me ask you about Christian Wood, because he only gave you 5 points, but he played 20 minutes. And this is a guy that was probably the biggest acquisition that you guys made in the offseason, or
Right.
not biggest, but one
of the
the
most
big-
important. He's one of the most important for his size, definitely. Not that he's a
Mhm.
real big man, but the Lakers have been shorthanded when we come to size and just that interior presence. So yeah, he's definitely an important piece. When you talk about numbers, bro, like you said, he didn't do anything special or out of the ordinary. But again, when you look at Christian Wood, when I look at his humbleness, his desire to be good on both ends of the court, this is going to be a process. You understand what I'm saying? But I think his humility and him wanting to win is going to fit in well with this team. I'm so excited now. We didn't have LeBron James last night. That kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. Just because I wanted to see LBJ. But the Lakers, who started off a little bit slow against your Warriors, they did pick up the pace. So, I was a little bit impressed when we talk about adjustments for the Los Angeles Lakers, because by all means, adjustments, lineups, things of that nature is going to be very pivotal for Darvin Ham and the success of this team. Now, you brought up big men. One person I was impressed with last night, and I mean, I guess everybody got to give him his respect for the game, was Jonathan Kuminga and the performance that he had last night, bro. It blew me away. 24 points and 8 rebounds in 23 minutes. What was your impression of your big man? Because I know you really didn't mention him that much on your takeaways, but what was your thoughts on Kuminga's performance last night?
JK, I love JK so much. I remember I was on the panel when we were talking about the Magic. If y'all in the live chat go back and watch that show, we were talking about the top. I think it was like the top duos under 24, under 23, or something like that.
Right.
Damn sure it was over 25. But I remember at the end of it, when we did our list, we got to like the 8th spot. Nobody had mentioned JK and Moses Moody. And when I mentioned it, even in the live chat, everybody was like, nah. Even Mars was like, nah. And I'm like, how do y'all not see the upside of these two? Jonathan Kuminga, with that motor and that much athleticism and the training and the knowledge and the mentorship that he's getting from a guys like a Draymond Green, who is an undersized big man who has left his mark and impression on this game enough to solidify him a spot into the Hall of Fame. Why are we not looking at Jonathan Kuminga with all that he has, mentor-wise and things of that nature? And not to mention the fact that if Chris Paul is coming off the bench, which he will hopefully at certain points of the regular
Oh, Lord.
he's unlocking Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, because Chris Paul, the ability that he has to do pick and rolls with guys like Kuminga or pick and pops with guys like Moody is going to be a nightmare to watch for from a bench standpoint specifically. So I wasn't surprised with JK at all. He's always had that impact. That he's that type of player where every team needs a player that can, blow the roof off the place other than the original guys. Like Steph and Clay, they can knock down a 3 and Chase Center's going to erupt. But if JK drives down that lane, puts them on a poster, that is a different type of electricity running through that arena. I think that JK is starting to adapt. He's already amazing on the perimeter. He's got a little bit of a 3 game. He's working with it. You can tell he's been putting in the work, and his handle's pretty solid enough to get him to the cup whenever he wants. So all that being said, JK didn't surprise me at all last night. That was the one guy where I'm like, nobody really knows how to prepare for him because he's that motor. He's that extra, that extra young, springs or however the old people call it. He's that guy. He's that guy.
Y'all feeling yourself. I will say that because I've seen a lot of Warriors fans, a lot of Warriors platforms. I know we haven't had basketball in a long time, but you guys have been sticking your chests out in these last 12 hours, and you guys did not have to face the king, LeBron James, LBJ. Y'all didn't have to feel that wrath, even though it's preseason. But you are confident that your team is looking good right now. You got a good feeling from your squad.
Here's the thing about these Warrior teams, and I'm gonna give you an example. In 2021, right? Watch the Warriors from the preseason to when they started rolling in the regular season, and I was sitting back and I was saying to myself, do I really like this team, or is Steph doing a lot of individually great things for this team? Which he was. He led the league in scoring that year, right? Led into a playing spot, right? They had a bunch of young guys on. There was a younger Jordan Poole, who, if anybody in the chat ever watched that year's Warriors, Jordan Poole, you just knew that he was going to eventually have the green light, or he thought he had the green light, and was just going to jack it and do whatever he wanted to do. That back when Nico Mannion was on the squad, I was looking at him and I was like, bro, I don't like the way that this team looks. I don't like the way that the chemistry doesn't seem like it's really there. It really seems like a clash between Steph and Draymond and the rest of the young guys on the team. Fast forward to 2022, I looked at that squad and they were rolled up to like a 17-3 start to the season. And I was like, I like this team. Bielitsa was a phenomenal pickup that offseason that I loved. Gary Payton was coming out of his shell. Clay was almost back. He wasn't even back yet. On his way. And you just looked at it and you were like, everybody's kind of flowing. The bench has an identity. For this team, though, I was nervous all season long. We get to the preseason, this first game, I'm saying, how does Chris Paul fit with this team? Because there's two ways you can look at it. I told y'all, Chris Paul is either going to help this team tremendously with more ball movement, which you would think for a Warrior squad, that's insane if they have even more ball movement, even more extra passes to a guy that you didn't even know was open. Chris Paul can make those reads. Chris Paul can unlock players. There's a reason why DeAndre Jordan damn near was an MVP candidate one year. Blake Griffin was an MVP candidate one year.
But he slows y'all down if you're taking that approach with the starting five. Like, what's your concern with that? Are you sold that Chris Paul is going to buy into this rotational role or coming off the bench? Because I agree with you. Chris Paul can make the plays that average point guards cannot read and visualize. But the pace of the Warriors starting five, like the way you guys come off of screens and pick and rolls and just run around the court, that has never really been an attribute of Chris Paul's game. So even though he has the court vision, don't you think it would be better for Chris to buy into coming off of the bench?
I think that it would be better. I said that before, and I've said this before, because when we talk about players like Chris Paul that are all-time greats, they know they're all-time greats. Coaches know they're all-time greats. Right. There's still that pride, there's still that ego in them in later stages of their career where it's like, okay, you take a guy like Chris Paul who's never come off the bench pretty much in his life, I don't think, even back in high school. So to go from being, looked at as still a starting point guard in the league and to transition into a bench role, a lot of guys take offense to that. Me, as a basketball fan, a basketball player, former basketball player in high school, all these things, I'm looking at it and I always said in AAU or high school, you have to do what's best for the team. If you're looking at a player with the skill set of a Jamal Crawford and you say, or a Manu Ginobili, and you say, these dudes are really cold. The problem is that we can't really figure out a way to insert them into what we got into the starting lineup because we have a Tim Duncan or we have a Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, JJ Redick, DeAndre Jordan, or we have a Tony Parker who can create his own offense when need be, Bruce Bowen, guys that are 3-and-D. Like, Pop looked at Manu and said, you're great, you're phenomenal, but in this starting role, we can't really use you the way that we want to. We can use you later on in a stretch of the fourth quarter, bring you back on the floor and figure out something there. But we feel like this team can be unlocked in a different way if you come off the bench and you just cook. That's the reason why Jamal Crawford won so many six-man of the years. Lou Williams won so many six-man, because you bring them off the bench and they're just cold. They can add something different to the game as opposed to the other bench, right?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing about it is, when you look at Manu Ginobili, you don't look at Manu Ginobili, not to say that he hasn't had a great career, but the expectations are different. Like, Chris Paul has always been a starter. I don't believe Chris Paul has ever come off the bench in his career. So you're really asking Chris to do something completely out of the ordinary versus guys like Manu Ginobili and other guys who are good enough to be starters, but I think they understand their role and the bigger picture more than CP3 does. But it's going to be interesting to see how you guys gel when we talk about lineups and stuff. When we talk about my Lakers, at the end of the day, bro, last night, I was impressed a little bit with Max Christie. I can't wait to see Max later on this season. I know Sumo had mentioned Jackson Hayes. He wants to see Jackson Hayes, and he feels like Jackson Hayes is going to be an important piece coming off of the bench. In a perfect world, Jackson Hayes or Christian Wood would be starting the 5, allowing Anthony Davis to play that 4 position. I really feel like we'll maximize and capitalize better with AD playing the 4 versus the 5, but I just don't know how that's going to play out. But just last night, bro, I was just excited, to get basketball back in full effect. And, it's going down. I think this upcoming season is going to be the best season ever in the NBA, bro.
I agree. I think that this season is going to be so good because we're at a point where the people that I grew up watching and loving, KD, LeBron, Steph, D Rose, like everybody from that era is slowly kind of at that make or break moment for their career where it's like, this is the last bit of greatness that you're going to be able to see from these guys. And I applaud guys like, I applaud the longevity of the big 3 I just talked about, LeBron, KD, and Steph. Being able to play past 15 years, I feel like, and to be able to play past 15 years and still have that top 5 demeanor about you to where fans are like genuinely debating if you're still top 5. I think of that as a compliment, or even if you're the best player in the game. Like all of these things, KD's still an elite scorer, LeBron's still in a top 5 physical shape of any NBA player in the league at his old. KD is still doing this thing. Steph is still the best shooter in the league. It's just all these and you're watching them at their twilight years, and it's just like, dang. Now we're looking at the next wave. The Jason Tatums, the Ja Morants, the Lukas, the Jokic's, the Giannis's, it's just love basketball, man. Nothing like it.
It's going to be unbelievable. This is Lakerland. People smash that like button. I see everybody in the building, man. Salute to you guys this Sunday afternoon. Do remember to catch us live here on Players Choice in Lakerland every Tuesday, every Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and every Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, here live on Players Choice. We're about to get into our next topic of the show. I figure we freestyle things a little bit, and let's spin the Lakers wheel and figure out what we're going to talk about next.
This is the Black Wheel of Fortune.
The Black Wheel of Fortune, the purple and gold Wheel of Fortune. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about guards. Let's talk about point guards. Now, what surprised me, and you were gone, ZZ, but we had a special guest on. We had Dan from the Lakers, Dan, the Lakers fan, on the show last week. Shout out to Dan. Lightout had kind of switched his tone a little bit. And Lightout is all for D'Angelo Russell starting over Gabe Vincent with the Lakers. What's your thoughts on the point guard position for LA with D'Angelo Russell starting? And is there a point guard out there that really is a better fit for LA than both of the guys that they actually have right now on the roster?
Are you talking about D'Lo and Vincent?
Correct.
Is there a better point? Yeah, there's better point guards. You throw Kyrie at the point guard spot again and have him run that back. It'd be 10 times better. The problem with the Lakers and point guards is when you have LeBron on your team, you kind of have to factor in the fact that he's running the show. Because LeBron's at any time on the court, when LeBron is on the court, he has the highest IQ. At least within my opinion, in terms of you could throw him on the court with Draymond Green, you could throw him on the court. Maybe Chris Paul might give him a slight, bit of competition. Outside of that, it's like D'Lo's not a better point guard than LeBron James is. Like when LeBron's running point, I'd much rather have LeBron be my point guard than D'Angelo Russell. And that's not a knock to D'Lo. It's just when you look at the fits on this team, that's the problem that the Lakers have had in recent years, is trying to figure out everybody's fit. When you implement a Russell Westbrook onto this team, he is not good for this team at all. His role does not even remotely mean anything at the end of the day if he's in the corner shooting threes. Which is another reason why when people say Russell Westbrook is a better all-time point guard than Chris Paul, I bring up that fact. I'm like, tell me if you want a 37-year-old Chris Paul running point or Russell Westbrook for the Lakers. They're going to take the 37-year-old in all of his injury issues. It's just because Chris Paul's a smarter basketball player than Russell Westbrook, to the point where he's like, I don't need the ball really. I don't need to shoot. I got LeBron. I got AD. I got all. So D'Angelo Russell, it's like, what is his role going to be? Is he a guy that's going to go out there and get you eight and a half assists a game? No, because LeBron's probably going to get you over 8.5 assists per game. That role's already covered. Is he going to be a scorer when they need him to get a bucket? Yes. When D'Lo needs to get a bucket, he can still get a bucket. From the mid-range, fadeaway, ice cold game-winning three, like D'Lo's still that guy. But his role on this team is not really the same as it was in Minnesota or Brooklyn or even really Golden State for that little bit of time. So that's how I look at it. And then you have a Gabe Vincent who's basically there for when D'Lo, shits the bed in the game. They're like, okay, we can't deal with it. He's shooting 3 of 18. We'll throw in Gabe Vincent because he's going to be a spot-up shooter. If he's on the floor with LeBron, Gabe Vincent will be. He will take that corner role and just waiting for the outlet, waiting for the swing pass.
Right.
He's going to do that. D'Lo can still do that, but it's like if he's cold, it's like, damn, it's like noticeable cold. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you to answer the question of what point guard could be out there, there's a lot of guys, but it's about the style of play. Kyrie Irving needing to get his own bucket and not really focus on the playmaking and facilitating aspect. We've seen win a championship with LeBron James before and come back from 3-1. So it's like that's going to work. Russell Westbrook, no. Chris Paul, maybe. D'Angelo Russell, we'll see. Gabe Vincent, that's how I look at it.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't always been sold on D'Angelo Russell. When we brought him back into the mix, I was very upset. I was very disappointed. Not from the aspect that he can't play this game of basketball, but what he did in his first go-round with the Lakers, he's just a guy that I can't trust. Now, I learned to put respect on his name because what he did in Brooklyn, helping those guys get to the playoffs, and I believe I think he made the All-Star team, or he's a perennial All-Star.
He made an
All-Star. I like his upside, but I need to see more consistency, and I need to see this right here. I need to see heart from D'Angelo Russell in the postseason. Like you talked about LeBron James and him being the true floor general for this team. In year 21, I would almost pray that the usage rate goes down for LeBron James, because LeBron James, he has the ball so much. He makes a lot of mistakes. Like his turnover ratio, along with Russell Westbrook, is 2 of the highest in the NBA. So I am hoping and pretty much betting the rent money that D'Angelo Russell will literally show us something, and he is the right fit for the job. Now, you mentioned guys like Kyrie. On paper, I definitely think he's a better fit, or gives the Lakers a better chance on paper to win a championship. But the reality of Kyrie leaving Dallas in the near future and winding up in Los Angeles as a destination, to me, I just think is cap. I think we need to really just get past that and work with what we have. But, D'Angelo Russell, even last night, he looked okay. He's just one of those guys that I'm not really going to be concentrating on that much until we get in March and April and hopefully in May, when the Lakers have a playoff run. I think that's really when it's going to count the most for D'Angelo Russell. Gabe Vincent, he did well in Miami last year. It just remains to be seen what we get from him this season. Now, Cam Reddish, my God, I got to talk to the bosses about Cam Reddish, bro, because maybe it was me, but what I saw last night versus your Warriors, it just it gave me so much cause to pause, bro, to keep it real. And I'm not really sure if he's going to be still with our team midway through the season. If you talk about somebody that might be trade bait, I was sold on him just last week, but I'm not quite so sure about that now, to be honest with you, bro. So those really was my concerns and my takeaway. But as far as the point guard position for the Lakers, I'm good with D'Angelo Russell. He just gonna have to show me just a little bit more, man. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. BA, salute my brother. We got BA. Get your bars up in the building. BA, I'll drop the link. You might be busy, but I'll drop the link. And if you want to come and join us, BA, you're more than welcome. And Sumo, you're right. It's only one game. It's only one preseason game. But again, momentum plays a factor in basketball, no matter if the games count or don't count. We have a new in-season tournament for the NBA that starts in November. So every little bit of basketball to me means something because you got so many new rules and regulations and things like that. And even though it's one game, one preseason game, you guys been off for months. You got to show something. This was the Warriors. We eliminated the Warriors last season. I just feel like we got to show a little bit more than that. So, that's where I stand at when we talk about guards and stuff like that for the Lakers. But I'm excited for this 76 season, fam, for sure.
Yeah, man. I feel you on that. People are saying right now, let's chill on Cam. I agree, like, to a point, because it's like with Cam, I feel like we've given him a lot of like second, third chances where it's like, all right, just let's get him used to this team. Portland didn't work. Send him to New York. Why can't I talk?
Right.
And I have a friend, my buddy Leighton, is one of the biggest Knicks fans I know. At the time, he was telling me how it was going to be great and it was going to be a phenomenal addition and all these things. And I was like, I'm just going to have to see. And we saw nothing. And here we are with the Lakers. And it's like, my thing is, I know, give him time. Like, give him time to get adjusted. I think that I could definitely see some games in the near future where Cam Reddish is having, a phenomenal night. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. What I'm saying is that for the Lakers, the one thing that I will say about all these new guys that are coming in and trying to find their roles, trying to find their spots, that it is very clear to me that there's going to be nights where guys are on. There's going to be stretches where guys are on and are phenomenal. And then there's going to be stretches where some of these guys, like Taurean Prince and Cam Reddish, they may go like have some cold slumps and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and the Lakers are very trade trigger happy. Like, they will trade your ass if they don't feel like they can win games off you. They will trade you. So it's like, it's very possible that we could see Cam not living up to the expectations again, and then he'll end up in freaking Houston. Like, who knows? But
that's a fact.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll give him some time.
Let me bring the homie Bit up real quick before we get into our next topic, just to get his thoughts on what we witnessed last night during preseason and just get his reaction. Give me 1 second. Let me try to get Bit in the building. Bit, what's going on, family? Salute, G. Cool, bro. Happy Sunday, bro.
Yeah, I think the Warriors, they surprised me last night. I'm not even going. Man, Chris Paul, he came in and I was just like, how is it going to work? Because, they got a whole bunch of off-ball movement. But Chris Paul, I think he just bring a balance. So, really, with Steph and Clay, you just had them run a simple off-ball screen, run a pick and roll with Chris Paul up top. It's either going to be a mid-range bucket or just a simple little pass-off. So, then the backups the Warriors had, I was like, who is the left-handed point guard? He came in throwing floaters from the free throw line. I'm like, who is this guy? But yeah, Kuminga, he didn't show me anything. I already knew he was going to turn up. He just got to get a chance. The center, what is his name? Jackson, Trace Jackson. I forgot where
Uh,
he. Indiana.
you talking about the dude off the bench?
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. I don't think I
light
can pronounce his
skin,
name
light
right now.
skin, like 6'10". Y'all got some solid pieces. It's just about how y'all use them and interchange them, I think. But y'all got to give Kuminga some run this year for sure.
Yeah. Nah, Dario Saric too, bro. Bro knocked down a pull-up transition three. I was like, damn.
That's low key a sneaky pickup too, because he played with Chris Paul and Phoenix, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Dario Saric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they got some chemistry too. It's gonna be interesting when they run their bench unit because you can run Chris Paul, Saric, Kuminga, Moody. It could get real spooky out there.
It can definitely get spooky.
Awesome.
That's a fact. Real quick, bit before we move on, I do want to ask you, what was your takeaway from the Lakers last night? I know there was no LeBron. There was only one preseason game, but what was your biggest takeaways from the Lakers performance?
I'm with you, OG. I was mad LeBron ain't playing. I'm like,
Facts. I'm like, what the hell?
I'm gonna still watch y'all. I think the point guard we drafted, Jalen, he looked too indecisive to me. He was trying to hold the ball too much. Like, just run the play. If you don't got it, get it to somebody else. Let Max Christie go get a bucket. Let Cam go try and get a bucket. I think Cam looked nervous out there because he done been on 4 teams the last 4 years. He don't know if he gonna get burned. He don't know if the coach like Tom Thibodeau. He probably just didn't really like Cam because of like how his body language is. Players can give off like, oh, my game is smooth. It don't look like I'm trying. That's where he fits me. But his defense was straight. He showed activity. His hands was always active. They threw a pass to his way. He could go get it. Max Christie looked solid. Looked like the same player from Summer League. Jackson Hayes looked solid. We just got to figure out what we're going to do with Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes. Are we going to run them and let AD play the 4 for majority of the season? Or are we going to – it really just depends on AD health. But I really want them to try and run AD at the 4 and probably try and start Hayes at the 5 just to have him more roaming throughout the regular season. Postseason come around, then we run AD at the 5. Then bring in Rui and Vando, switch them off, something like that. But really just Jalen looked indecisive. It was his first game, so I won't really on him too much. Cam, give him some time. Then he got hurt again last night, so I'm like, oh, Lord, what are we going to do now? Cam got hurt again. But it really looked like the playoffs to me. Like, we let
the atmosphere, the vibes. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
let him get
it
up,
definitely
and then
was.
We closed the gap, and then it was just like, if we had Bron playing, I really don't even think we'd probably be up like 5-10.
ZZ know them boys would have lost last night. We ain't gonna play that game. ZZ know his boys would have took an L yesterday if the King was playing. Bit, we appreciate you coming up, my G.
Appreciate you, dog.
Already.
Salute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I like him. He knew what he was talking about. Yes,
he definitely know his stuff. Let's go to the live chat. Let's go to LaKERLAND real quick. A11 Gravy in the building. Salute to our Players Choice family. Gravy says the Lakers will have a new team by the deadline. Just wait. Bro, we talk about this every week, Gravy. Every week we talk about LeBron James and, just the possibility of, him being the guy that reconstructs this team. We know the history about LeBron James, and when we talk about rosters and things, I like the roster that we do have, to be honest, but we did see some things last night that may give some guys, just a different vibe coming from people like Cam Reddish and stuff like that. Cottage is in the building. Cottage, salute, my G.
Sir, salute.
Big up the Cottage in the building. As always, that guy in the building, another Players Choice family member, he said, I think AD committing to the 5 this year will be extremely difficult to play against with Woods or Jackson Hayes at the 4. Bro, I couldn't agree better. I couldn't agree better, bro. That's just one of the biggest question marks that Darvin Ham is going to have to figure out early.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Great opinions, great conversations. We're about to go into halftime of the first hour real quick before we get into our main topic of the show. Did you have any announcements or anything, Zizi, you wanted to run by the people while we in halftime?
Other than just like the people that are talking in the chat, and I feel like you got all that, the subscribers and stuff like that. So other than that, nah. I mean, did y'all talk about Dame and that whole situation in Drew Holiday?
We briefly
How y'all
talked
felt about that?
Yeah, I'm not sold on the whole Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo experience short term. Maybe long term it could work, but who's going to coach this team? You're dealing with a first year head coach that is not proven. And we've seen first year head coaches have success in other destinations before. So I'm not trying to make it seem like it can't happen, but he picked Miami for a reason. He did not have Milwaukee at the top of his list for a reason. So people can run around and act like this is a match made in heaven, this, that, and the third. But I'm just not sold that it's going to work to its maximum potential early on. Maybe long term, but I'm just not really sold on it. Boston getting Drew Holiday neutralizes that to me because that defensive outlook that you have. You lost Marcus Smart last season, a defensive player of the year. And everyone was talking about the shortcomings that Boston may have defensively. But you bring in Drew Holiday along with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I don't think Boston misses that much of a beat. So these were two interesting moves last week for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that I think Boston is literally picking up where they left off in terms of what this run with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum has been so far. And Al Horford, I guess. But like them I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, damn, they got rid of the Time Lord, they got rid of Malcolm Brogdon, and Malcolm Brogdon was there for a year. So it's like at the time that Malcolm Brogdon was there, we were like, damn, that's gonna be a good move. And it just didn't really hit the way I guess we thought it was gonna hit. And now you add Drew Holiday into the mix, and it's like from a defensive standpoint, on the perimeter, they're straight. On the interior, we're hoping that Kristaps Porzingis can be as effective as we think that a 7-footer should be. We hope that Al Horford can still be as effective at his old age that he's been for the last 3 or 4 years. So I'm interested to see that. With the Bucks, I think that they're a lot more scarier than Boston because you have the dynamic.
Did we lose Zeezy? Wait a minute, bro. I think we might have lost Zeezy for a second. Let me remove him, and then I'm gonna get him to come back.
That was crazy. I noticed it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on right now?" But anyway, the Bucks. What I was saying was before I was interrupted by this stupid ass internet. Dame, Giannis. Everybody's talking about that. Middleton can be way more unlocked than he has been because most of the time and throughout this run that the Bucks have had ever since 2021. He's been low-key the second option, but now he's the third option. Now he's that extra pass type of guy. Whereas Giannis can still run in transition and kick it out to him or kick it out to Dame for a 45-foot bomb, or whatever Dame's feeling that day. And then not to mention Brook Lopez still being there, Bobby Portis is still there. Their interior is still the same. Giannis and Brook, or Brook and Bobby, or Bobby and Giannis, whatever. And Giannis's brother, who's only there because Giannis is there. Right. Outside of that, I think that I would fear the Bucks a little bit more because I feel like they have more T's crossed and I's dotted than Boston. Boston is still a concern of if Kristaps is either going to be healthy or going to be playing at the level that we need him to play at if we're going to run him at the 5, or if Al Horford, so we can just keep the load off of Al Horford and I guess load manage him until the playoffs because playoff Al Horford is a top 10 player in the game. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
Y'all here. Terry with 2 dads, our LAKERLAND family. Terry with 2 dads is in the building. Terry, salute, fam. Appreciate seeing you again here on LAKERLAND. Thank you so much for the support. As always, Terry with 2 dads says, forget what we talking about. Did we see Cam Reddish defensive performance? I'm sorry, Terry. I got to talk to the bosses. Maybe ZZ, I don't know. Maybe I got to get a new television. Maybe I need to ask Players Choice to get us new TVs because I didn't see no GOAT coming from Cam Reddish last night.
Goatish. Cam Blackish. That's what it is. That's what he is.
What type of GOAT are we talking about, Terry? Is this a Billy GOAT? Because I don't know, man. I don't know.
Saying Cam. See, I told you Cam Reddish still has fans. Like Cam Reddish got a lot of fans that look at his defensive upside and think that that's going to be the thing that's going to keep him on a team for more than a year. But hopefully the Lakers, hopefully it's the Lakers that keep him there. Like hopefully. I'm praying.
Defense would keep him on the Lakers for a year. because it's very much needed. But when you look at the mistakes and the flopping and the falling, like
sometimes he looks a little lost out there.
yeah, exactly. And I
like,
just feel like when you have LeBron in year 21 and then you have Darvin Ham and all these other elements, there is no time to play. You need to get this thing right ASAP, immediately.
So that's my thing is that when you play with the Lakers and you play with LeBron, you have a very limited amount of time for how ass you could possibly be before LeBron is like, I'm done with you. Go get me a new toy, Rob Pelinka. And then they do that. They put you in the trash and then they go to Toys R Us and they pick up Jared Vanderbilt or something like that. Like they just like that's what it is. Like talking about Cam in that way again, I'm coming at you with razors and rubbing alcohol.
Yikes. Terry chose violence today on LAKERLAND. Look, Terry, I got to keep it real. I just got to keep it real. And we got a lot of basketball to play. So, you know, we definitely wouldn't be right if we didn't give Cam Reddish the benefit of the doubt. But, you know, the eye test has told us that over these last couple destinations, he's been at times quite a disappointment.
I'd say he's been underwhelming. I'd say that would be the word.
Good word.
He's been underwhelming. Like we all expect him to be an addition to a team. It's just the reasons that we think he's going to be an addition, he doesn't act on. So it's like we're stuck as the fans looking at it like, damn, we really thought that this guy we thought this was going to be the one team. Like we thought this was going to be where he was going to have his breakout year or whatever.
Right.
But so, you know, give it time. LeBron can get a lot out of players and he can be a lot for players at times, but we're going to see. If LeBron can't get this man to stay on a team for more than a year, he might be out. He might be done. Bron's like the final boss, if you will. So we'll see.
No doubt. Cherry chose violence. Jeez, Christmas. Razors and rubbing alcohol. My God. Good night. All right, man. Let's bring my brother up from another mother. BA from Get Your Bars Up Media. Let me get my dog in the building so we can tap into today's show. BA, what's up, family?
What up, brother?
Hey, what up? What's happening? I'm hearing y'all talking. I was moving around, cleaning stuff up. I'm like, all right, let me go chop it up real quick.
Yes,
Salute,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Salute, BA, as always, bro. You already know how we kicking it here in LAKERLAND, bro. Did you get a chance to see anything last night?
Yes, I definitely seen the game. The reserves from the Lakers, man. I don't know. Hey, I like the way they started. Anthony Davis looked good out the gate. The starting five, even though LeBron didn't play, they looked all right. Even though, granted, it's the first game, they look pretty good. But the subs, though, I don't know. The bench players, they're gonna have to pick it up. Golden State bench players, it looked like it was levels. Golden State bench looked 10 times better than me.
He ain't lying. He not lying. So 7. Wait, 7, you're muted. Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Sure.
So how you feeling? Like about that? How you feeling about that statement that the Warriors bench was better than the Lakers bench? Because me personally, yeah.
I mean, I can't disagree. What we saw, you know, it is what it is. But y'all didn't face LeBron, so y'all already know if LeBron is not on the court, y'all should have done what y'all supposed to do. I'm not concerned at all.
LeBron almost 50 years old. We not doing this 7. It's not about LeBron.
So the results would have been the same if LeBron would have played last night. Is that what we telling LAKERLAND?
You mean to tell me that? Do I think that another instance where LeBron is facing the Warriors and there's a situation that occurs where the Warriors are just striking and everybody's striking and LeBron's out there having a solid game and he loses? I feel like I've heard that story a billion times before. So yeah, I'm not. LeBron's gonna get his, cool, but I'm not. That's not really moving me right now. Like. It's gonna be another instance after the game where LeBron go up to Steph. What up, bro? How you been, man? I'm trying to come over to Golden State. Like, let me come over.
Yo, ZZ. I think that's the issue, though. That's going to be the issue is when LBJ comes back in, is he going to play a different game that he's never played in his life, or is he going to get back to that dominating, I'm the man, I'm the guy, even though I'm 45 years old?
And is LeBron going to defer to his significantly younger partner in crime, Anthony Davis, who is supposed to, as LeBron say, be the face of this Lakers team?
Never. He's done. LeBron got too much pride for that. LeBron ain't giving nothing up. He been saying, I'm gonna get a team to AD since 2018.
LeBron fronting.
Yeah, he on that Dave Hollister tip. He fronting, bro. He fronting.
Damn, King James. All right, man, we're going to have to see how this play out. This is LakerLand. People, make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the Players Choice platform, subscribe to the Players Choice platform. Also, become a member of the Players Choice family. We definitely appreciate you guys' support. We're about to get into our main topic of our number one. We got to talk about opening night of the regular NBA season. And opening night is going to feature the Los Angeles Lakers at the Denver Nuggets. This is going to be the ring ceremony, I believe, for Denver to get their rings. BA, I'm going to start off with you, family, because I had a whole lineup of different questions and things of that nature. How do you feel like this opening night is going to play out for both the Nuggets and the Lakers when we talk about winning and losing?
Man, I think it's just, to keep it 100, it's just one game out of 82. That's it. I mean, it's going to be emotion. It's gonna be some emotion. But usually, a lot of times, I don't know if you've noticed for like the past 20 years, a lot of times a team that's coming in from winning a championship, they often lose that first game due to the celebration, the air let out the room. Everybody, they're so emotional then and all of that. And once they get to the game, they're like, all right, we can go 0-1. We still got 81 more games.
Right.
But I think it will be big for the Lakers to try to build early momentum and build confidence in the young players. Like, yo, we just beat the champs. We just beat the champs. First game of the season. They can't deal with us. Get that confidence. So it's much bigger for the Lakers than it is for the Nuggets.
I agree 100%. ZZ, I want to show you something. Give me a second, because I have a problem with something, and I want to get your opinion. I want to talk about revenge.
I love this tweet so much. It's my favorite LeBron tweet of all time. I swear to God, this is my favorite LeBron tweet of all time.
Keep that same energy.
This week, there has been quite some dialogue on social media when we talk about the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets dynamic. Now, a little while ago, LeBron James had this tweet saying, keep talking about my squad, our personnel ages, the way he plays, he stays injured. We're past our time in this league, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do me one favor, please, and I mean please. Keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Thank you. So most people felt like LeBron was responding to Denver Nuggets Mike Malone. Then just last week, Anthony Davis talking about the Denver Nuggets. He said, we get it, y'all won. But me and LeBron had some conversations, and it's like, we can't wait. Now, Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets, he kind of reacted and spoke on this. He said, if they're still worried about us, then that's on them. What are your reactions, fellas, to this whole situation? Because I don't like it. I don't like the fact that the Lakers seem to be targeting one team, the Denver Nuggets, for revenge for whatever reason. I know they got bumped by them, but I just don't think it's a good look. And when you go back to 2019, when the Clippers were put together, I feel like they created that team to beat the Lakers and not the NBA, and that's why they got bumped in the second round of the bubble tournament. And I'm have the same concern with the Lakers that they are preparing more for Denver than the NBA as a whole. What's your reaction to all these back and forth, ZZ, with the Lakers and Denver on social media?
So, like, to me, it's hilarious. I love internet beef, especially in the NBA, especially between a 40-year-old man in LeBron and a 55-year-old coach who, like, just won his first championship. But my thing is with Mike Malone, I side with him a little bit more on this because the media themselves were hyping up Lakers versus Nuggets for one reason. And they were more focused on the Lakers making it to the Western Conference Finals than the Nuggets. And the Nuggets were looked at as arguably the best team in the league for the majority of last season. So for Mike Malone, the coach, to sit here and say to himself, you know, we're the best team in the conference. We're the best team in the league. We just made it to the Western Conference Finals like we kind of figured we would. We got the best player in the league, all of these things. The Lakers, they just show up. They hop in, and it's like, hey, remember us? Like, we won a championship a couple years ago. We're still here. Just forget about Russell Westbrook and all that jazz, but just focus on us right now. And then the Nuggets are like, all right, cool. Let's sweep these motherfuckers. and so 4-0, right? 4-0 to me is still wild because going into it, the media was like, okay, you know, they have an answer for Nikola Jokic. They don't have an answer for LeBron James. All of these things. And then LeBron proceeded to shoot them out of the series alongside Anthony Davis's inconsistencies. So the Nuggets are sitting there thinking to themselves, we won, we got past them. We shut the media up. We shut Laker Nation up. They thought they really had it this year. They went against the real team. Let's flex. Let's continue to flex. It almost reminds me eerily of in 2016 when LeBron came back from 3-1. And then we fast forwarded to Halloween, and LeBron throws a little party and invites the Cavs over, the team, and it's 3-1 tombstones everywhere. After, mind you, the internet had already been flaming the Warriors all off season for blowing a 3-1 lead, rightfully so. But then LeBron rubs it in their face even more and is like, hey, you remember 3-1 tombstones? They got Curry's jersey on one, Clay's on. So that's rubbing it in a little bit more than Mike Malone has been this offseason. Mike Malone's just been talking into a microphone on Championship Parade Day. LeBron was throwing a party, actively trolling a team that just blew a 3-1 lead. So
but hold up, though. Not to cut you off. Is Mike Malone doing too much? I understand that you got bragging rights if you win the championship. But Mike Malone is talking like he has created some dynasty in Denver. Or he's such a, that's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with Mike Malone speaking because they won it. But he's sticking his chest out like he has proven something over a period of time.
He did prove something. He won a championship. The number one team.
Mike Malone, talk to him. Go ahead, talk to him.
The number one team in the Western Conference, which is the toughest conference by far, majority since December to the end of the year, to the championship. He proved what he needed to prove. And guess what? People are projecting them right now just because how dominant they were last year. They're projecting them to make it back.
Really?
They're still saying them they're number one on everywhere. So why doesn't he carry that pride, Mr. Malone? Salute to you, Mr. Malone. Talk your ish. You know how hard it is to win a championship?
This is $1 million question. And I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to ask you this, BA. Do you look at some team like Golden State seemed to be a team at the time that could be in control of the NBA for years, especially when they had Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Certain teams look like they could hold the reins for a couple of years. Me personally, I don't see that in Denver. I don't have that fear factor in the Denver Nuggets like they're going to be a dynasty or potential dynasty franchise. You see that potential in those guys?
Of course. They got Jamal. You gotta understand. They've been good. The last 3 years, right? The last 3-4 seasons, they've been good. But they always missing one person, right? One key person, and his name is Jamal Murray. As long as Jamal Murray is healthy, and they got and they bench is set up now. Jeff Green was a big loss. Doodoo Brown too was a big loss. But they can supplement that. They got their core, bro. And then we got, we ain't even, man, bro, I'm not worried about them. I think you a hater right now. I think you being a hater.
I am hating. Let's get
At least he owns it. He owned it.
Yo, Denver nice, bro. Denver nice.
You got to think, Seven. Like, for me, if you ask me, do they have the potential to be some sort of dynasty?
Yes.
When you look at a dynasty, you have to look at least two players, maybe even three in some instances, where you can say we're going to build a dynasty off of this this trio, right? The Spurs, they had Tim to start off their dynasty. David Robinson and him kicked it off, and then Tony and Manu eventually kept keeping it afloat, and then they ended up even getting Kawhi Leonard. So, like, that's what you got to look at that, right? Nikola Jokic, like BA just said, Nikola Jokic has only been missing out on Jamal Murray and MPJ in some years, where it hasn't been this trio, because that's the trio that they're building around, those three. They got Jokic, who can get everybody involved and dominate in his position. Jamal Murray can cook relatively anytime he wants to. Michael Porter Jr. is going to shoot anytime he fucking wants to.
And Aaron Gordon, too. Don't forget
Aaron Gordon. And then they bring in a guy like Aaron Gordon. They say, we need something to make this starting lineup kind of fit, to round it all out, to bring in some of the things that the other guys can't do. Aaron Gordon. They got him out of Orlando. And back when he was in Orlando, I was like, okay, this kid's obviously talented. He was able to almost win a dunk contest a couple times. But other than that, I was like, if he's on a team, he has to be with someone. And now he gets to have someone that's pretty much at his position that is immediately one of the most, if not he's the most efficient at his position across the board. He gets to play with that. Nikola Jokic was unlocking KCP as a shooter, giving him his best three-point shooting percentage of his entire career last year. So when you have that, you have the glue guy, which in this case is Nikola Jokic because of how talented he is, that can unlock everything else. And you have guys like Jamal Murray who can cook for himself when need be. Yeah, potential dynasty. Yeah, they're in the Western Conference, like BA said. They were always good. There was a moment in time where I was looking at them in the same light that I looked at the Utah Jazz as regular season merchants with Donovan Mitchell. But then I started to sit back and say, I was like, damn, what are the Nuggets missing? What are the Nuggets missing? Oh, because Jokic is here all the time in the playoffs, but Jamal, he got hurt. MPJ got hurt. Now he doesn't have the right pieces around him. Whereas the Utah Jazz look as complete as you could fucking think that it could be. They had Mike Conley rounding out that roster back then, but they still didn't have all the answers because Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell just didn't work out. They weren't as good as we thought they were. We've seen this trio win a championship, or this duo, if you want to keep it a buck. We've seen them do it. We've seen them both have marquee moments in the postseason last year. Pivotal moments, iconic moments. So it is reasonable for me and BA to both assume that this is where the dynasty is.
It's a possibility. Yeah, I can't rule out the possibility.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are bringing up Aaron Gordon, a guy who had a great year last season. Don't get it twisted. He had a great year last season. But let's be honest. We were only referring to Aaron Gordon when we talk about slam dunking the damn basketball. Before last season, y'all putting all this respect on his name. Come on. Before last season,
not the last 2 years.
What did Denver do year before last? What did Denver do year before last, BA?
Made it to the playoffs.
Hey, exactly.
And stunk it up.
Hey, where was Jamal Murray at?
Hey, look, is Jamal Murray the number one? Is Jamal Murray the best player on Denver? What was Jokic? The MVP, the two-time MVP.
No, but down the stretch. But down the stretch, he take pressure off. He's the guy like Damian Lillard's about to do in Milwaukee. He is that. He is going to he takes pressure off of Jokic. Jokic needs that down the stretch. You feel me? Giannis is gonna need that down the stretch. I'm trying to tell you.
Terry is killing me, y'all. Terry is killing me. He done went from alcohol and razors to just trolling my name. Salute to Terry with 2 kids. Terry, thank you so much, family, for the support and the super chat. Terry says, is 7 my name, or is it the amount of regular season games AD is going to play? Hey,
fair question.
Hey, Terry, that's bars. Terry got his bars
up. A fair question, and it's bars. So I'm not even mad at that. But bro, Anthony Davis, I mean, and I don't think I even talked to you guys since he came out with this statement. So this is kind of off topic, but AD said he has expectation of playing 82 damn games this season. What are y'all realistic reaction to AD saying he's looking to play 82 games?
Hell no. You know that he ain't playing no 7. Do you think he's gonna play 82 games?
Not at all. I'm praying that he just meets the eligibility requirements to be all pro or all NBA. Yeah. What's that, like 60, 65 games, BA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's 60. I think it's 60.
I'm praying for that too. I'm praying for that too. I genuinely hope, because I think that
exactly. It's a joke. ZZ, continue to laugh, sir. It's a joke.
I'm sorry, it's just 82 games and Anthony Davis. Who would have thought, right? Like who would have thought John Morant and gun safety? Like who knows? But the thing that annoys me the most is, like you just said, Seven, this 60 game requirement. We could be robbed. Like, say Anthony Davis goes out there and plays phenomenal for 59 games. I'm gonna be mad as hell if he's averaging 30. He ain't gonna average 30, but 26, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. We're gonna be sitting here saying this man is depoy, but he can't win it, and then they have to settle for who would win another Rudy Gobert. Imagine Rudy Gobert pulls through because he plays.
Rudy is looking good in this preseason. I know that's a side note, but Rudy is looking good, man. I'm seeing him swat stuff in the 3rd, 5th row. I mean, like he's doing his thing. So shout out to Rudy Gobert. Let me show y'all something real quick, and I want to show Lakerland because Lakerland, these guys are bugging, and I'm going to need y'all to back me up. But let me show y'all how much the Lakers live rent-free in the Denver Nuggets head. Did y'all see the new city uniforms for the Denver Nuggets?
Okay, this was hilarious.
This is crazy to me. These are the new city jerseys for the Denver Nuggets. I got to talk to the bosses. I need y'all to explain to me, how is the Lakers not living in Denver head with this right here?
They swept them though. 7, they
Yeah.
swept them.
One,
them
like,
I
don't think.
You know what I don't like?
I'm just gonna say
Let me
this. I don't think that they're living in their heads. I think that they're just smoking on that Lakers pack, and
That's it. They
That's all
enjoying
it
it.
is. They just enjoying it. It's like this is some good shit. Like that's and now they're like, ooh, our alternate jerseys are being released or whatever. Yeah, make them purple. Like yeah, let's just like whatever. Like that's what it is. I don't know.
I got a question for Seven. I got a question for Seven. Seven, in last year's playoffs, there was only one team to get swept. What team was that?
The team that started off 2-10, the team that readjusted their lineup, the team that knocked out the defending champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. That's who it was. And they got swept by a team that went on to win the NBA championship. And I love how y'all just want to disregard what the hell happened just 2-3 years ago when LA faced Denver in the Western Conference Finals.
Ain't about 2-3
Notice
years
how
ago.
you said 2-3 years ago.
Hey,
Really?
this is the same thing you did with the Thunder. This is the same thing you with them babies. The boys was babies. They grown ups now. They grown up now.
T-Rev,
They
salute to
mature.
T-Rev. It's a 65 game requirement when we talk about all NBA. So salute to T-Rev for the correction on that. But T-Rev, I got to talk to the bosses about you, bro. What do you mean they own the Lakers? What are y'all talking about?
They swept them. They swept them.
0. Y'all did not. Let me put it to you like this: there was a 7-game series, and it was the first one to 4. First one who won 4 games out of a 7-game series. The Nuggets won 4, and y'all won none of the games. Y'all did not win a single game.
We eliminated your boys.
But we at least got 2 games off y'all asses. And we would have gotten a game or 2 off of their asses.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Zizi. How many games did Phoenix win? Because didn't Kevin Durant and them beat Denver once?
They won. Yeah, they won 1. I think they lost in 5.
Why you bringing up all of this old stuff?
At least they got a game.
Fact, because I love how y'all put respect on Phoenix for winning 1 game, but
because they got
LeBron company.
I ain't put respect on Phoenix.
Here's the thing. I'm not putting respect on it. I'm just saying. Like BA just said, there was 1 team that got swept. Now you mean to tell me that if there was 2 teams that got swept, we wouldn't give them the same energy? Hell no. There's only 2 teams that got swept. So, but they got a game. Good for them. That's like playing beer pong and missing every single cup and having to get naked lap. That's gonna get talked about. Like that's not something that we're gonna be like. But if you got a cup, you ain't have to run naked lap. They got swept. They got swept.
Got bodied. That's what happened. They got bodied.
They ain't get 1.
Out of right terms, they got bodied.
Yeah, and LeBron shot like shit, and we gonna talk about that. Like if KD, here's the thing: when KD got to the postseason, his efficiency took a hit. I was talking about it. I was like, damn, KD ain't shooting 70% from true shooting percentage no more. He getting locked up. He look like he getting a little locked up. Look like he getting a little hesitant on them shots. I acknowledge that. The same way that I'm looking at LeBron, and I'm like, damn, why are you shooting? Like, what's happening right now? You see this not working. He went 0 for something for a while. I forgot what it was. I think it was like 0 for 12 over like a 2-3 game stretch, or maybe 1 for 11, something like that. Like, these are, if you're playing noticeably bad or a team is noticeably beating your ass, we have to talk about it. That's what happened to the Lakers last year. That's why the Nuggets keep talking about it. That's why Mike Malone is trolling the hell out of your organization. Because what's Darvin Ham going to do?
And y'all like that. Y'all giving this goddamn Mike Malone a pass like he really done something. And I seen y'all in the live chat talking about I'm giving Mike Malone a hard way to go and all this crap. Man, please. Tari with 2 dads. Salute to Tari 2 dads again. Tari says Lakers was the bully until someone came and punched them in the mouth. It's time to fight back.
Think about it. Y'all was bullying Dylan Brooks. Everybody was, when AD blocked Dylan Brooks, and then him and LeBron both said, "Get that shot of here," right to his face, and just turned away like y'all was. And granted, thank y'all for bullying them. That is the one time where bullying is accepted. If it was Dylan Brooks related, y'all did that. Thank you, the NBA fans, like the community. We appreciate y'all for that. And then y'all got a little cocky after y'all beat us, even though Andrew Wiggins didn't play in the final game.
Yo, Draymond Green worked for LeBron James anyway.
Yeah, Draymond Green's in the
in the offseason. We not doing this. We're not doing this.
Draymond probably said, "Hey," Draymond probably tipped LeBron off before the game. It was like, "Hey, yo, hey, Wiggs ribs is hurt, bro. Hey, so go at his chest all game." Like, it's
exactly.
Like, come on now. But it's cool. It's cool.
Exactly. Mr. Clutch Sports. Mr. Clutch Sports.
Let me ask you guys a question. I want y'all to look at this image right here. Right?
AD looks scared as hell.
Exactly.
Is Nikola Jokic, fellas, the biggest one-on-one challenge to Anthony Davis this upcoming season? Because to me, it seemed like AD is targeting this guy. And I don't know why, but would y'all say, at least in the Western Conference, as far as dominance, Nikola Jokic is the biggest challenge to AD?
He the best player in the NBA.
Who?
Been the best player. Jokic been the best player in the NBA 3 years. Last year, he was supposed to be MVP. And I'm not a Denver Nuggets fan, but I give it up to him. He's supposed to be a 3-time MVP person right now. But guess what? Voters fatigue and Embiid, we got to give him one because whatever reason why. But he's the best player in the NBA. And I'm gonna keep it 100. You can say this is a hot take or not. We're migrating into what we call the Jokic era right now of basketball. So be ready. I know you're not gonna like it. Do I like it? No, damn. I want the game to be a little different, but this is the Jokic era of basketball. We're transitioning with that ring. It opens the door.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Yo, y'all got so much love and respect for this Joker guy. Like, yo, really? The best player in the league? This is Jokic's era? Really? Off of one chip?
What? Bro, and 2 MVPs. Should be 3.
Giannis won 2 MVPs and a chip. When it was Giannis's era.
To that point, Seven. I was about to say, I don't think it's just Jokic's era. I think this is the European player era. That's what we're transitioning into. Because Giannis, like you just said, he's got him 1. He's got him 2 MVPs. He's got a finals MVP. He's got that top 3 player in the game perennial conversation going for himself. Jokic has the same thing. 2 MVPs, a finals MVP, a championship, top 3 perennial best player in the game. Some may say that he's not. Those who say that he's not mostly say that Giannis is because they validate the defense more than the offense. And they're not saying Joel Embiid because they would be an idiot if they did that, or a Philadelphia fan. However, let's get back to on topic here. Nikola Jokic has done something that already I said last season, I was like, if Nikola Jokic wins this championship, he's ahead of Dirk Nowitzki for me. Sorry.
What?
And then, because this is why. Let me tell you the only reason why. The only reason why was because I was like, Nikola Jokic has crossed off so many things. He's already got 2 back-to-back MVPs. And the narrative was Jokic can't win a championship as the best player. But what we had was Jamal Murray not playing in a playoff series because he got hurt in the regular season. MPJ, the same exact story. We never got to see the team at full strength. Never did. They gave him a coach, Mike Malone, hard-headed coach who could coach his ass off, all these things, yada, yada, yada. They give him Aaron Gordon. They give him DeAndre Jordan off the bench. They give him Bruce Brown. They give him all of these things, KCP. And you say, okay, this team, if everything is clicking, they could be the best team in the league. They weren't. Then we get to the postseason and said it has to translate over. Jokic has no excuse to not win this championship. There is no reason that he shouldn't win because he has every single thing he needs. And then he wins the championship. So in my head, I'm like, bro, he could have easily won MVP last year and easily have been the first person to win 3 consecutive MVPs since Larry Bird. He could have done that. But like he said, the only reason he didn't do it was because of voters fatigue, because you can't sit here and tell me that he didn't have a case for it or that Joel Embiid's case was significantly stronger than his. No. So, yeah, we got to look at Nikola Jokic and accept him for what he is at this point. Him winning a championship validated and silenced a shit ton of our arguments that people have been trying to throw at the wall. Like you, Seven. But at the end of the day, it's like you're either going to acknowledge him as the best player in the world or the second best player in the world.
I'm trying to tell you.
He ain't no number 4. He ain't no number 3. He ain't no number 5. He ain't no number 6. And LeBron's not better than him right now.
It's the hard truth that the NBA does not really want to talk about. It's the hard truth, bro. You got to accept that.
Y'all scared. Y'all scared that kid from Serbia is really cooking these boys. Yes, he is. Yeah. Yes, he is.
That's why they try. This is why they like, yo, we gotta, even if it's not an American player, we gotta get a brother up in there, man. Where Giannis at? Hey, yo, Dave, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
They gotta shake some stuff up. Because Jokic is like, bro, you don't understand, Seven. I know you don't like it, but you understand, bro.
Y'all gotta explain something to me. First of all, use easy, because I'm not gonna let you get away with this. You keep bringing up my man LeBron's name when you want to talk about Nikola Jokic like there's some type of real comparison. So explain to me, what the hell does Nikola Jokic do in this season, in this time of basketball, that LeBron James can't? Name one thing.
Is free throws. I'll throw that out there. That's just me throwing that one out of my ass. I'm just throwing that out there. But outside of that. Efficiency. Nikola Jokic is the most efficient player in basketball. There's no one that's better. Even if you want to crunch the numbers and you're talking about guys that may be, a spot ahead of him, it's because they're centers that catch lobs. Nikola Jokic is cooking you from the post fadeaway, hook shot, back it down, 3-pointers, free throws, and ones, everything you need. From the offensive side of the ball, there is no one better than Jokic offensively in the game today. That's simple, because not to mention the fact that not only can he just score on you, he can read the floor better than anybody on the court, maybe besides when LeBron is there, because I will say I give LeBron a slight edge because LeBron is a basketball savant, and I think that his IQ has become underrated during the last maybe 5 years because people are just not used to someone else matching LeBron's IQ on the floor as much, but it's still elitist, if you will. But besides that, reliability, he could play more games in a regular season than LeBron. What more do you want? What more do we want? I think Jokic played 70 plus last season. LeBron played less than Anthony Davis, so can't really win that argument there.
The altitude is crazy where he had too. He's still dominating.
Yes, talk about it. When players go play in Denver in their arena, like the Pepsi Cola arena, I don't know, something like that. But when they go over there in that altitude, you mean to tell me that this dude is playing more than 65 games in this altitude plus the playoffs? What? And LeBron out there looking gassed by the second half of the game? Like, what are we talking about? Like, come on.
You guys are mentioning altitude and all these intangibles. Like, it amazes me what y'all use for these arguments, bro. Tari with 2 dads. Salute to Tari. Thank you so much, family, for another donation and support to the LAKERLAND platform. Tari says, we are cooked. We have no American bigs. Our best big, who is JJJ, is allergic to rebounding and jumps like he has ants in his pants. BA, I got a question for you, but first of all, now I get to get at Tari. Now I get to get at you, Tari, because what you mean that the best American big is Jaren Jackson Jr.? Is Joel Embiid not a U.S. citizen anymore? He's whatever he want to be, bro.
He's whatever you want to be, because we know Mr. Cameroon Mr. From the motherland. They were like, do you want to play with France or do you want to play with America? He could have smooth turned his back on us. We not claiming that. He low key wanted to go to France, but he like, they need me over here. So okay, he's Americano. He's American.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, BA, because Terry does bring up an interesting point when we talk about American big men. Do you feel like there is a lack of American bigs, and do you feel like JJJ is the best? Like, what's your thoughts on the American big?
Man, we don't. I'm thinking about it right now, but we don't. Like all the premier players are from overseas. They're definitely European. So I don't. There is no. He's right. He's right. And I don't want to say Jaren Jackson Jr. because I still don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. We got Anthony Davis. We got.
That's my thing. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. better than Anthony Davis?
He's not.
Is that what he's saying?
He's not better than. And
I know.
Brooke Lopez. Shout out to Brooke Lopez.
T-Rev said Brooke Lopez. He brought up Brooke Lopez name.
Listen to these names,
talk, T-Rev. Talk.
T-Rev, listen to these names though. Don't nobody know these guys like that. Don't nobody know these guys like that outside of basketball. We not doing this, T-Rev. Salute to you, but we not doing this. Are they not? Are they bad? Are they good players? They solid. They not they. We're talking about great.
We're talking about
great right now.
So looking at an overall record, I don't want to break it down to the game. I'm not going to put that much pressure on you fellas, but and this might be a silly question to most, but who's going to have the best overall record at the end of the regular season? The Denver Nuggets or the Los Angeles Lakers, and why? I just want to hear the disrespect. I want to hear the doubt. I'm taking notes. That's why I'm asking these blasphemous questions, because I'm taking notes.
Keep talking about our ages. And where's the tweet at? Can you pull that tweet?
Yeah, let me bring it back up. Yeah, let me bring this back up, because
keep talking about my squad, our personnel ages, the way he plays. He stays injured. We're past 5 in this league, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Do me one favor, please, and I mean please, keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Hashtag thank you. That message was from our precious king. What was it, 2 seasons ago, when everybody was saying how the Lakers are nothing more than a nursery retirement home. And because they were the oldest team in the league, and because they had Russell Westbrook on the team, and because they had Carmelo Anthony on the team, and because of all these things, LeBron thought that all the negativity and the negative responses that he was getting, he thought that was just all because he was like LeBron and they were just hating. But no, there's a little bit of reasoning behind it, because when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers and you think about injuries and things like that have plagued this team for the past entirety of the LeBron and AD era, besides the 1 year in the bubble. When you think about all that, it's reasonable to assume that the Denver Nuggets are going to have a better record this year than the Los Angeles Lakers, mainly because Nikola Jokic is going to play a hell of a lot more games than Anthony Davis. I can confidently say that. Probably 10 plus more games than Anthony Davis. I can confidently say that. And LeBron James, I can confidently say that. Jamal Murray, he has his injury history, but Anthony Davis is still more injury prone than Jamal Murray, so I'm going to be confident in that regard. And MPJ is the biggest blow to him throughout his entire career has been his back. Outside of that, if that's cool, he's still going to be shooting. He's still going to be striking. They're still going to be finding him. And he seems to be showing more and more defensive prowess later on in the postseason last year. Like early on, it was like, he looks like a liability. But as the postseason progressed, he was getting more and more solid. So it's reasonable to assume that as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. Sorry for going on.
Yeah, salute, bro. I know you got to step off. I definitely appreciate you coming through, bro. We're gonna tap in later on this evening, bro, to finish some of these conversations, bro.
ZZ,
Appreciate you,
I
fam.
agree with you. I don't know why 7 gassing up the Lakers like they're gonna be really better than the Denver Nuggets. We ain't doing that. We're not
not
doing
Y'all
doing
that.
should
We
be
not-
ashamed.
nah.
Y'all
We
should
not
be
doing
ashamed
that.
of
Hey,
yourself, bro. Salute to my dog, BA, bro. Be safe, bro. I'll holler at you later on for sure.
Yes, sir.
That's my dog, BA. Make sure you guys, if y'all into hip hop, if y'all guys are into battle rap, make sure y'all check out my brother BA at Get Your Bars Up Media here on YouTube. He got a dope platform, dope channel. He been doing his thing, and you'll see much more of him here at LAKERLAND. T-Rev says that Denver is going to be a plus 60 this season, and the Lakers are going to be a plus 50. I mean, if that's the case, I think the Lakers won like 43 games last season, so I think that would definitely be an improvement on both ends. So I'm not mad at that at all. Soren wanted to know, can the Lakers beat the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs? You know, that's just a tough question because, you know, on paper, Phoenix is solid. Phoenix is solid. And Phoenix got guys that has things to prove. That's another thing. KD, even though he's a champion, considered one of the best, KD in my eyes still got stuff to prove. Bradley Beal still has things to prove. Even down to Devin Booker, I feel like got things to prove. So Phoenix has a hunger element there. With LA, if LeBron doesn't win anymore, his legacy is pretty much established. If AD doesn't win anymore, you know, the expectations are not really going to be different. So beating the Suns, we just going to have to see how this actual year plays out, Soren. But I got all confidence in the purple and gold to get it done for real.
I think that they have a shot. Like Phoenix and LA, they both look good on paper. You can make a solid case as to why you think each team would win the game.
Right.
With the Lakers, I value their defense a lot more, and I think they'll emphasize that in a postseason what's it called, a series. And for Phoenix, like you said, the hunger and the drive for those guys to shake narratives, like narratives and stuff, they really affect players, I think, as the more and more the years go on. Because with Kevin Durant specifically, like you talked about, when he left Golden State, I was like, this is the dumbest decision that he possibly could have made. If he was going to go to Golden State and win, he should have won until the wheels fell off or started to fall off.
Wait a minute, because we never talked about that, and you are a Warriors fan. So I don't want to get off topic, but this is interesting. You had a problem with KD leaving Golden State.
Yeah.
You didn't blame Draymond?
Nope.
Really?
Because here's the thing. People, I think Draymond is one of the most misunderstood players in the league, or at least within our generation of since he got into the league. So like since 2015. And I say that because he reminds me of like what Bill Laimbeer was for the Pistons, for the Bad Boy Pistons, in ways such as like when what's his face? Was it Mark Aguirre that got traded there? Yeah, Mark Aguirre. When Mark Aguirre got traded to the Bad Boy Pistons, in the Bad Boys documentary, you see Bill Laimbeer talk about how when Mark Aguirre got there, he said, this is how we do business, yada, yada, yada. Gave him a very blunt rundown of how they operate. You're going to come to practice. You're going to give it your all. You're going to yada, yada, yada. Mark Aguirre was like, I was originally like, who the F is he talking to? Type, vibe. But in order for them to reach their max potential, everybody has to buy in. So that was all Bill Laimbeer was doing. You have to buy into the system. You want to become a bad boy, this is what you have to do. We're going to be the most hated team in the league, yada, yada, yada. Draymond, playing the informant role that he did last season, he was basically like, or the season of 2016, my bad, playing the informant role of how he was talking to KD all throughout the regular season, and this had been going on. Draymond's probably telling KD, look, you're gonna get hated. We're gonna be the most hated team in the league, but if you want to win a championship, this is where you need to go. Yada, 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 right? So KD had to buy into that role. KD's the Mark Aguirre in this situation. They get there, they have a miscommunication on a play with Draymond running down the court and not giving him the ball. He's upset. They have a skirmish. KD said that he was upset that the Warriors management didn't handle it. And I understand that point. I do. But in my head, I'm always what's the biggest goal here? If I'm in a situation, if we're working together on something, we have a big goal here. The Warriors won 2 championships. You could have had 3. Had Kevin. You could have had 3. Had Kevin Durant. Oh, that is, yeah. We both do. I have a do-rag on. So
Yeah, my man Henry called me out. Henry, if I rob a gas station, you know they're gonna lock me up. I can't get nowhere, man. They're gonna find me easily, man. Salute to my dog Henry Durf in the building, another family member of the Players Choice platform. Big up to you, Henry. Henry, we ain't seen you in Lakerland, bro, in a couple weeks. Where the hell you been at? I see you on everybody else show. When we started Lakerland, Henry was in the building for us, bro. He was. You know, Henry, you on some other shit right now, bro. But, you know, it's all good. Salute to my dog, Henry, for popping up in Lakerland as always. I'm about to bring the homie Bit back in a second. I did drop the link, people. If you guys in Lakerland, if y'all want to come up and join the panel, I did drop the link. You guys are more than welcome to come up and join us. I do have a couple questions and topics for the panel. So let me bring the homie Bit back in for a second. And we're gonna get back to business. Bit, what's up, family? Welcome back.
Yo. What's up?
No doubt. Let me ask you off the top, bro, because I do got a couple questions I want to get out the way before we continue on. Big 3. Do you consider the Lakers having a real solidified big 3 in your opinion, Bit?
A big 3?
Yeah. Like a real big 3. And who would it be?
It's just gonna be AR in that, like, what is it, like, right below fringe all-star. If he can take that jump and be like 15 to 20, what he averaged last year in that stretch of the playoffs, like 17 points a game,
13 to 17. He stepped it up
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if AR can take that step and be like that fringe right below all-star level, it'll be Brian, AD, and him. And then it's really just depending on how the others mix in and what they contribute on a nightly basis.
Mm-hmm. What about you, ZZ? Do you feel like the Lakers have a real big 3, not just 3 of the best players, but like a big 3? Do you feel like the Lakers got that?
I think that every team in the league has a big 3. It's just
really?
some teams have better big 3s, like the best big 3. I think back to the Heat, big 3 Heatles. At that time, they had LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh. But you looked across every other team in the league, and it's like, okay, the Bulls at the time had Rose and Noah and Boozer or Luol Deng, whoever you want to throw in that mix.
That makes sense.
Luol Deng. And then the Knicks had Melo and JR and Tyson Chandler. The Spurs had Tony Manu, and like everybody had their own big 3 relatively that were among the competing teams. So it's like within the postseason or making the playoffs. So the Lakers have LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, right? The Warriors still have Steph, Clay, and Dre. The Suns have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal,
and Devin Booker.
And then now the Bucks have Giannis, Damon, Middleton. The Celtics, you could say Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Drew Holiday, or Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis. But everybody has a big 3 a part of their team that they're looked to probably the most out of everyone else. The Bulls had Lonzo and DeMar and Zach LaVine at one point.
And they were underrated as fuck. I wish Zoe didn't get hurt. Man.
They were deadly. They were one of the best big 3s in the East, like top 3 at one point.
But fellas, Austin Reeves is not an all-star. And, you know, when you named all those other guys, ZZ, all 3 of those guys are pretty much perennial all-stars for all those respective teams.
Boozer.
Right.
Boozer.
But Austin Reeves, I feel like if he was to be an all-star, it will actually damage the Lakers' progression. I don't want to see him being so selfish trying to pick up those big numbers. I don't think that's really going to be his immediate role. But can you have a solidified big 3? Who?
Say that again.
When you have a solidified big 3, I would think everybody would have to be an all-star or at least an all-NBA. So it's interesting to me how we can put AR-15's name in the conversation, but, you know, he hasn't really been an all-star yet. What do y'all think about that part?
I mean, Bit, what you think, bro?
I was gonna say I don't think it would hinder the Lakers because it's just really dependent on how he get his buckets in the offense. Because if Austin Reeves can be an all-star. Like I think they'll split up. If Ham is smart, he'll manage the minutes to where it won't be so much Bron and AR like throughout the game, really just
Right.
mainly in the closing times. So if he adjusts the minutes right and let AR probably get out there with the bench, let it be maybe I think him and D'Lo, when they run together, they have a little good 1-2 punch. They get the offense going, they get the PNR going. The defense, AR, I think when AR is on the floor with D'Lo, they got like a little tandem together where if AR is playing solid defense, D'Lo will pick up some of his effort. Because I
Right.
feel like they really locked in once he got on the team last year. So if they just manage the minutes, let AR really run more with the bench, let him flourish with the bench, maybe throw in AD, kind of like how they did with Russ. They should have ran Russ and AD more with the bench. So Russ could take off, go up and down, run PNR with AD. So if they run it kind of similar like that, I think it won't hinder the team as much. But the others like Rui, from what I seen last night, Rui got to get some dribble packages or something, man. He can't just be 1-2 power dribble, go to the rack and just throw a hook up there. Like,
That's a fact. He got to make some moves. He need a
I'm
spin
like, man,
move.
you
He
gotta at
definitely need a
least
move.
get a 1-2 cross back. You know what I'm saying? Something, man. I don't know. They talking about he been LeBron understudy. I know LeBron ain't got the best bag, but he can get to his spots and do a little something every once in a while.
So I got $1 million question for ZZ. This question is for Bit. This question is for Lakerland. This question is for everybody in the live chat. C6LD, I see you, Cole, bro. I see you. I'll bring you up in a second. But I got a $1 million question for everybody. If this thing blow up for the Lakers this season, and I mean blow up, who's going to be the scapegoat? I need everybody in the live chat, ZZ, Bit. I need to know who is going to be the scapegoat if this thing does not work. Will we be putting all the blame on Darvin Ham, on LeBron, on AD, on Rob Pelinka? Who's going to be the scapegoat?
Let me see. Let me just think for a second. We're talking about the Lakers, and we're talking about scapegoating. So over the last 3 years, we've seen it be Magic, Rob Pelinka, Fred Vogel, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis at one point in time, and then all the way up to Darvin Ham and all the expectations they put on this man. So for making it to the Western Conference Final, that was great. That was exactly what I felt he needed to stay solidified as like, oh, he coach. He's he might be able to make something shake, right? If it blows up for whatever reason, they're probably going to scapegoat him and say that he was the problem. I also feel like LeBron might get scapegoated a little bit.
Really?
That's
I don't know if
who's
he
going to be
can
left.
LeBron anymore. But
why the hell would LeBron be a scapegoat when LeBron is the guy that's been the glue? Like, you just so disrespectful this afternoon,
They gonna hop on that Damo train. Darvin Ham.
It's gonna be
LD, what's
Darvin or
up, bro?
D'Lo.
You think it's Darvin or D'Lo?
It's Darvin or D'Lo.
Why is that?
I feel like with the performance like D'Lo put out last time against the Nuggets, like if he underperforms even a little bit, I feel like they're gonna be on him. Like,
we're gonna be on his ass quick.
Yeah, exactly. like Lakers nations, like we hop on people really fast. Like once you mess up, it's done for you. And then Darvin Ham, people not gonna want to hear that he's a new coach because they were saying that last year. Don't nobody want to hear that, bro.
And we was on his ass last year. Why?
And that was the thing with me.
Got 3 guard rotations.
That was the thing with me, fellas, is that, we had to take the training wheels off of Darvin Ham because I understand it was his first year last year as a head coach, but he did win as an assistant in Milwaukee. So he knows about winning. He's played the game. So I don't want to put tremendous pressure on Darvin Ham this year, but looking at lineups and things that he came up short last season on, we definitely need to see improvement for year 21 because, I just think that there's no room for error with LeBron's last days as a Laker. So I am definitely interested to see who's going to be the scapegoat.
I'm tired of the scapegoat. Like, honestly, the team that we got this year, really with everybody. Everybody got a solid team. You might got a first-year coach, but it really, like, if somebody play bad, then that's just what it is. Like, why we got to have a scapegoat? D'Lo played horrible. Bruce Brown got in his head, and he he should have got benched. Should have just been Bron, AR, Rui, I don't care who else, and somebody in AD. If you just play bad, you just play bad. Like we got a team to where there shouldn't really be no scapegoat. You got a coach. You just made it to the Western Conference Finals. You got shooters. You ain't got the best big, the front line. You got everything else. You got everything you need. We shouldn't have no scapegoat. It should be Western Conference Finals or the finals or somebody just plays bad. Like that scapegoat shit. I be tired of that, man. Like
Yeah.
That's just the culture though. Like
yeah.
I forgot who said it earlier, but they were like the Lakers are trade happy. That's just the culture. Like,
Yeah,
That's
like,
they
how
will
it
get
is.
you up out of here.
for no
I
reason.
agree.
Oh, he came into practice and didn't give 100% effort today. He's on the block.
Fellas, who's the best duo in the NBA? When you look at this image right here, who do y'all feel is the best two-man duo currently right now in the National Basketball Association?
I think it's Joker and Murray. Giannis and Dame aren't proven. I'm not really worried about any other duo, if I'm being completely honest.
Ain't even too
The
high
two
on Giannis.
Jays are perennial chokers. So
Oh, really? In Boston? The ones in
yeah,
Boston?
No
they're
left
Not
perennial
hand,
lying.
chokers.
He's not lying.
no left
So it's
hand, and
like
no mid range.
I'm gonna take the two that shoot from like stupid dumb efficiency in the playoffs and that actually won a ring together.
All right.
So what
Going
about
with Denver. What about you,
Splash
ZZ,
Brothers?
bro? Who's the best duo, bro?
Well, obviously, all bias in full effect. This is Splash Brothers, but all bias aside, I'd say
Did you say the Splash Brothers?
This is nasty.
hell yeah. I said the Splash
This
Brothers.
is
What you
nasty
mean?
work, ZZ.
One,
You mean the
three from
Clark
that team
Brothers?
losing you?
One led the league in threes last year. The other's the greatest shooter of all time. What's wrong with that take? When
What
they
did
get
Clay
hot,
do
what
against you?
happens? When they get hot, what happened? That's all I'm saying. But
I got you.
nonetheless, now back to the whole Jokic and Murray thing. I'm buying that. I'm with that. I feel that. Me personally, I think that if it isn't them, that Giannis and Dame are supposed to be the best duo.
Oh my god!
Next season, if you really think about it, Giannis is gonna cook regardless. Dame is not in a situation where he doesn't need to be that big of a cooker, but he can still cook whenever he wants to. Now, tell me who y'all's second and third best duo is.
Look at this visual.
I would say
Look, I
the
need y'all to really look at this visual. Look who's on this image.
It's
We got
really-
the
it's
wide
really
man.
Bron
is
and
that
AD.
up there? Why
It's
is
not
that
really
up there?
Bron
It's
and
not
AD.
though. It's not though.
But
If
out of respect for Jokic and Murray, they just won the chip. They can have first place. Second place has got to be Bron and AD.
it got
Third,
if it's
third,
got
it
to
could be
be,
Giannis and Dame. It could be
Yes.
Giannis and Dame. I'm just not too high on it. I don't know.
I'm not high on
Wait a
LeBron
minute.
and
So
AD.
wait a minute.
I'm
Bit,
not high on LeBron and AD.
Bit. Hold up, ZZ. Bit. I just want to be clear. You would put Dame and Giannis before KD and Devin Booker.
I was about to get to them.
Yes. Yeah.
KD and D Booker are
would.
top three duo. Top three.
Really?
I wouldn't put KD and Book over Giannis and Dame.
You wouldn't put two of the most efficient scorers.
KD is not one of the most efficient scorers anymore. You seen what he did against Boston, and you seen what Aaron Gordon and KCP just did to him. He's not this efficient scorer anymore. So it's just I forgot who was saying it. I think Lowe was saying it. KD rely too much now on shot making. He can't get to the rim that much. He's still one of the greatest scorers of all time, but bro, he's just not that guy no more, man. He can still get you 30, but it's like it ain't 30 on 50, 38 or something. It's like 30 on damn 40, like 40.
What KD
34
did y'all see last season?
But only reason
What KD did you see in the playoffs?
What a slightly less efficient than his true shooting percentage of over 70. So KD's still efficient. So let's not act like that. Like obviously, if Kevin Durant is shooting below 50%, that's a problem. Like for someone of Kevin Durant's caliber. But if I'm not mistaken,
I gotta ask y'all. Wait a minute. I gotta ask y'all because shout out to Terry with 2 days. We got another super chat from Terry. Terry says the best duo is Freak Time. Them boys are going to get nasty. I think that name, first of all, Freak Time, is crazy, but I can see them using it. But
that is
y'all
crazy.
fellas, y'all don't have no concern at all with this coach in Milwaukee being the first year. Like we've seen it happen before successfully, but like that's one of the biggest reasons why I feel like this thing ain't going to work out in the first year.
It'll probably be a big factor.
Who's the proven leader?
I think Giannis got to take that role. Giannis need to step up and be like, I'm gonna play 45 minutes. I'm gonna guard him. Coach, just put these 4 players on the floor at this time in the game, and I'm gonna get it done. That's just how it need to go. He need to step up and be like, not be like exactly like LeBron, but just take more of that coaching role too. Shit, you can be a coach on the floor too. You Giannis, you the second best player in the world. If it's not Jokic, so step up. You that guy. You him. I think more players should take that role, like that coaching role. Like, yeah, I'm the best player on the team. I should be part of the coaching, managing some of the minutes and shit too, because I'm that guy. I'm him.
Yeah, it's a testament to your IQ and all that shit. Like
Exactly.
Giannis should know how to win a championship, like because he's done it. So it's like at this point you got to just go out there and just like he said, this is my team. I'm the reason that Damian Lillard's here anyway. Because I told y'all I would be moving if I found a better situation. And they were like, oh, okay, Dame. So it's like, you got to figure out your way around it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to say he's dropping like all these quotables about failure and winning and being better. So like, show us that you're better. Show us that you could be that guy. Like, you wanted them to make moves, they did. So win. Like,
tell y'all, Drew, get out there.
Are y'all sold that Damian Lillard? Because I heard Bit saying that Giannis needs to, take control of being the true leader. But do y'all think that Damian Lillard is willing to play Robin?
He
ain't got no choice.
They're gonna have to. That's Giannis land.
Yeah.
Giannis, the same way Portland was Dame time is Giannis land over there in Milwaukee. He's gonna have to take that back seat. All we need, it's gonna be like this. Giannis, I got you for the first 3 quarters. Dame, come through in the 4th. That's all I need you to do.
That's it. And then on top of that, they also got Chris Middleton still, and that was his job for years. Was to close for them.
You love some Chris Middleton.
Only question marks is campaign. Is he gonna be a terrorist off that bench or what?
I will say this though, right? Dame wanted to go to Miami, and we know for sure if he would have went to Miami, it's no taking the leadership role from Jimmy Butler. So he gonna have to chill out wherever he went. Yeah, he didn't have a choice. So
that's fair. Yeah,
I really didn't like Dame. I ain't like Dame saying he was gonna sit out if he did go to Miami. I feel like that was a real bad look.
I hate when players do that shit, bro. I hate when. That's why James Harden is on my most hated players right now. It always fluctuates, but Harden found his way back at number 1. I was like, bro,
sit out. Like
yo. How y'all? That's how I'm looking at it. Because we the fans, bro. We supposed to watch y'all. That's what we doing throughout our like you said, y'all glad that Braun ain't playing the preseason. I understand why he ain't playing the preseason. The nigga's 40, but still, like, yo, I was trying to see you go off tonight. I was maybe putting a bet in on you or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You could have played for one half.
I seen AR won't play
something, anything. That's a fact. One half, a quarter, something. That's a fact.
They gave you
family. I appreciate y'all joining us this evening. I'm about to drop y'all down so ZZ and I can wrap the show up and get into our last topic.
Appreciate y'all.
Bit right, C6, bro. I appreciate both of y'all for coming through LAKERLAND, man, and hopefully we can see y'all again, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Appreciate y'all. All right, ZZ, we about to round up, getting into our last topic or two of the show. This has been an unbelievable show. Shout out again to LAKERLAND. As always, you guys are fire. Make sure y'all smash that like button for us, please. If y'all guys are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to Players Choice. Also, join the membership, become a part of the Players Choice family. We definitely look forward to having you guys. And do remember, we are live here on LAKERLAND on Players Choice every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and every Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys pull up, join myself, ZZ, and Light Out for our next edition of LAKERLAND. Real quick, bro, I want to talk about the race to 18, Title 18 between the Lakers and the Celtics. In your opinion, because you don't have a hand in this fight at all, you're not a Lakers fan or a Celtics fan, but who do you think will more than likely reach Title 18 first between LeBron and between the Lakers and the Boston Celtics? Who do you feel like could get Title 18?
The Celtics for sure.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, easily.
Wow.
Easily. Completely easily. I trust the Celtics making it through the East to get to the finals at least more than I trust the Lakers making it through the West. And I still trust the Lakers over other teams in the West, but it's like it's different because I think it's when you have to look at the conferences and you have to look at the teams, you have to look at the matchups, you have to think about playoffs and all of that. For me, when I look at the Celtics and I say who's their biggest threat for them not making the finals, it's the Bucks and then maybe the Sixers and then maybe the Heat because the Heat knocked them out last year. But it's like, but then when you look at the Lakers, it's like the Nuggets can give them a run, the Suns can give them a run, the Warriors
Golden
can give them a run, the Clippers.
Mhm,
The Clippers, the Clippers is the crazy one because it's like the Clippers are still the Lakers' little brother, still just the little brother. But it's like, if all health and all those things factor in, then the Lakers might be a little bit scared because it's like, okay, now they're actually here and we get to see Kawhi in full health and PG, so that's like an oddball though. But outside of that, the Grizzlies, like there's so many more teams that can give the Lakers a run for their money as compared to the Celtics, where I think there's only like 2 or 3 realistically. Right. So that's how I look at it. But what you think?
I mean, you make great points, bro. I can't even really argue. Like for me to argue that, it would just be strictly off of biasness, being a Lakers fan. But let me ask you though, because you brought up a key point in conferences. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Eastern Conference may not be better than the Western Conference, but is it safe to say that the Eastern Conference has gotten much better since LeBron was there?
Mm-hmm, for sure. And it's also like a testament to LeBron almost, if you will, because it's like when LeBron was in the East, you looked at every other team.
I think we lost.
I mean, okay, I know I did when he was with the. Wait, did you lose me? Am I good?
Yeah, I think we got you back.
Can you hear me?
I think you good. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. When you look back at like 2014 when he was with the Heat, and then you look into 2015 and going up against the Raptors, and you looked at all the other teams, I was just like, a baby Giannis, no, he's not ready. Like the baby Raptors, they're not ready. The Atlanta Hawks for that 1 year, we're not ready. The Pistons were an 8 seed one of those years. And the Pistons had a hell of a year. I think it was 2016 where they were the 8 seed. They had a hell of a year in comparison to the last few, where they were just missing the playoffs or being bottom-feeding teams in the East. But I was like, they're not beating the Cavs. Like, nobody was beating the Cavs. Now there's a legitimate debate as to who's going to come out of the Eastern Conference because you have a Joel Embiid and a Sixers team that isn't in the beginning stages of the process. You have a Bucks team with a grown-up adult version of Giannis that's already got himself a chip. You got Miami, who you see with Miami, they have a winning culture. They have this culture that players buy into at all times, and they can sneak their way into past the first, second seed if they want to. So it's like there's so much more competition there, and I wish that we got to see LeBron against these type of teams because I think that he still comes out on top majority of the time. But these teams are going to give him an even bigger run for his money.
Much more of a fit. Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I think maybe a little bit more respect would be put on LeBron's name because a lot of people feel like it was a cakewalk throughout the Eastern Conference throughout his journey. So I agree with you. I agree with that. Last thing, bro, before we get up out of here. Now, I know the time Phil Jackson spent in LA produced more championships than the time that Pat Riley has spent in Los Angeles. But when you compare Showtime to the Kobe era with Phil Jackson, I don't want to say which one was greater, but if you was a player, which Laker culture would you perceive to be more fun, or would you rather be a part of the Showtime Lakers or the Phil Jackson Lakers?
That's a really good question.
Because I feel like from a player standpoint of having fun and building a culture, Pat Riley and the Showtime Lakers is where it's at. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I was about to say. If I was a player, I think I would have way more fun in the Showtime offense. Because not to mention the fact that at that time when it was all being implemented and they were getting rid of what was it, Paul Westhead and all those other coaches to bring in Pat Riley. At that time, it was like everybody was like, this is going to be something that's new that no one else is doing, right? So it's like we're going to be playing in a faster offense. We're going to be the fastest team in the league. We're going to get a lot of points. We're going to do a lot of all these things. It's going to be great. And whereas like with With Phil Jackson, it's different because it's like you have an expectation of dominance because you have the most dominant force in the league at the time, Shaquille O'Neal. You have an expectation of a 1-2 punch because you have Kobe, who was emerging as one of the best young players in the league at that time. You have guys like D.
Wait a minute, did we lose ZZ? Get ZZ
Fish,
back.
guys like Rick Fox, guys like Horace Grant, who were championship proven. Oh wait, so what part did you lose me at?
No, I got you. Said Rick Fox and that was the last.
So you have, so the expectation that you have with that 2000 to I guess you say 2010 Lakers squad with Phil Jackson was expectation was already there because Phil Jackson had already won 6 championships prior. So it was like it was supposed, and you have Shaq, you have Kobe, you have all these guys that on paper look good, and you can tell from their games can work together and it can result into something that can win a championship. Whereas for Raleigh, it was something fresh, something new, and something that was like kickstarting a change in the league where they're playing fast and the Celtics and Pistons are playing gritty and dirty, like, defensive minded, all those things. So I'd say for me, it'd be more fun to play for Showtime for sure. But because of that expectation factor with Phil Jackson is like you're expected to win with Shaq Kobe, and you're just going to have to find your role in it. Rick Fox had to be a knockdown shooter. Robert Horry had to knock down shots late in games when Kobe wasn't shooting them,
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to me, bro. You think, like you said, you probably would have more fun, playing in that Showtime environment, and you still got to put respect on the game back then because it was still gritty. They were a finesse team, but, the opposition was still hardball. But I see in Lakerland, T. Rev had made a good point. Phil Jackson does embrace different types of personalities. You look at how he did with Rodman. You look at what he did with Metta World Peace. And he won more than Pat Riley. And he, kind of created more than Pat Riley. I don't know, bro. It's interesting because I think they're two totally separate eras, as you said. But I'm kind of with you, bro. I just feel like playing in that James Worthy era of Showtime would just be more fun as a leaguer, even if I didn't win as much.
Do you feel like, I feel you. Do you feel like you would have more fun playing with Pat Riley, Showtime Lakers, or Phil Jackson, Chicago Bulls with Mike and Scotty, and then Horace Grant, and then at one point Dennis Rodman, and all of the things that Dennis Rodman brings when he comes on a team? I think I'd still pick Showtime. I don't know, because maybe I would be intrigued with the idea of playing alongside Mike and watching him in practice and how because Mike was like, you're going to bring every single thing that you can possibly bring to this
But
game.
look at the hell everybody had to go through in The Last Dance playing with Michael, like from teammates. Like, I don't know how fun it would be, even though Chicago was making history in the 90s. I don't know how much fun that was for everybody else, because you hear about fights with teammates and it just was a lot going on. So that's a good question, bro. I would probably stick still with Showtime.
I feel that.
For sure. All right, people. LakerLand episode 10 is officially in the books. Shout out to everybody in LakerLand. Y'all already know the vibes. Do remember, we are live here at LakerLand on Players Choice every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and every Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys follow us on social media as well. We're everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. PC_LakerLand. And we all have our individual social media handles. So we'll be tapping into you guys. Definitely appreciate you guys coming through. Big up to LakerLand in the chat. This has been an unbelievable show. Shout out to everybody that helped make this possible. Z, you got any last final words, any thoughts before we sign off, bro?
I just want everybody to at least remember one thing, if you take anything away from this episode, and it's that Ryan isn't here. Light Out Sports is not here. And it's ironically less than 12 hours removed from his team and my team matching up and his team losing. And I just think
he ducked the smoke.
And he ducked the smoke to go to Cancun and go cruise. Like, what are you doing? Cruise your way back on LakerLand, stop by and take this thrashing.
Take that L.
Yeah, take this war thrashing.
We got to talk to the bosses about Light Out. We're gonna have to get some type of internet connection, something. We're gonna have to get him tapped into us within these next 3 weeks. We're gonna find a way, bro, for sure.
Yeah, man. Other than that, though, great show. Loved it. Loved every second of it.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Raj. Shout out to PC.
No doubt, man. Big up to our Players Choice family. As always, shout out to Claire for quarterbacking our situation, making things right. Big shout out to our brother Demetrius, who knocking out our thumbnails, putting everything together in play. Once again, shout out to everybody in the Lakerland chat. T-Rev, Bit, appreciate you coming up. Cole, appreciate you coming up this afternoon. Jonathan De La Rosa, Cottage in the building. G Madman in the building. Salute to you. Stephen PR Torres, I see you earlier, G. Big up to you. Terry, of course, with Two Dads, so much support he shows Lakerland every week. So big shout out, of course, to our family. Terry with Two Dads. Big up to everybody that was a part of today's show. We're about to get up out of here. Do remember, join us Tuesday night for another episode of Lakerland, man. I'm Seven Mitchell. That's the big homie ZZ. We are about to sign off. You guys enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Stay safe. And we see you guys on Tuesday night. Appreciate y'all. Be good. Peace.
Peace.